Algae, grease, solids, and debris. These are never-ending problems at treatment plants around the world. These solids, which accumulate on the weirs and effluent surfaces of clarifiers and thickeners, emit odors, cause short-circuiting, create unequalized flows, and contribute greatly to the suspended solids in the effluent, often pushing that number beyond the limits set by the EPA. It's absolutely essential to keep clarifiers and thickeners free from algae and debris buildup. This is the very dangerous, time-consuming, and old-fashioned way. Removing algae and buildup from weirs and launders with a brush and a hose is a lot of hard, demoralizing work. And this is the new, safer, and more cost-effective way. The Weir system, the innovative technology that has forever changed the way clarifiers and thickeners are cleaned. It's in continuous use at water, wastewater, and industrial plants throughout the world. The Weir attacks algae growth and solids accumulations on weirs. The Weir is a unique system of spring-loaded brushes that attaches to a skimmer arm without creating any significant increase in the torque on that arm's drive motor. The Weir is installed on primary clarifiers, secondary clarifiers, and thickeners, whether they are open to the elements or under domes. The system has over 50 points of flexibility and adjustment, which ensures a thorough cleaning of even the most irregular of tank surfaces. Because no two clarifiers or thickeners are identical, each Weir system is custom designed for the tank on which it is to be installed. At the Fort Hall facility just outside of Lexington, Kentucky, where the patented Weir system was developed, precise tank measurements are transformed into components crafted from highly durable and rust-resistant stainless steel. The components are then shipped to the installation site, where they are assembled, adjusted, and fine-tuned for optimum performance by Fort Hall factory personnel. Fine-tuning usually requires from 8 to 10 hours, but once accomplished, the Weir system usually requires no further adjustment except for annual brush replacement, which takes only minutes. However, all Weir systems are routinely inspected to make certain they are operating at peak efficiency. The quality and reliability of the Weir system is backed by a 5-year warranty on all parts except for brushes and a 1-year warranty on labor. It will not only provide years of trouble-free service, but save thousands of dollars and man-hours as well.
The Weir has saved us a lot on labor, and not as dirty a job, not as dangerous, because we'd have to get down in there with brooms and brushes, and I would say that it probably saved us a day and a half a week in labor.
Up in Greenwich, Connecticut, Steve Dimitri practically echoed Mr. Powell's praise.
I would guesstimate that we're probably saving approximately 16 to 20 hours per month by not having 2 people down there with hoses and brushes and trying to keep the units clean. Our old weirs would cake up with algae pretty quickly, and it was really labor intensive and really not very safe by having people with booths into the stream of the wastewater. As you know, with the way the budgets are currently with every municipality, they're looking to cut back and not add personnel, so I'm very pleased that we are saving man-hours by keeping these units clean.
And the Weir system is saving money on the West Coast as well.
We prefer to use our certified operators in a more professional and productive way. As of about 8 months ago, we lost 2 operators out of our division. We started out with 12, and then we got reduced to 10. So you basically do the same amount of work with less people. And at that point, we started looking at automation, ways that we can work smarter and not necessarily harder.
The payback on installation of these units to their existing clarifiers would have about a 14-month to 2-year payback. We certainly will be jumping upon that opportunity to save us long-term cost and manpower.
The Weir assists other operational systems after the clarifiers, as seen in Hatfield Township, Pennsylvania, and Troy, Ohio. Both added UV disinfection to their treatment process, and both were having trouble with algae from the clarifiers being caught on the UV lamps. Peter Dorney at the Hatfield Township plant wrote this.
Recently, because of regulatory requirements, it became necessary to install a UV disinfection system. The algae on our secondary clarifiers, weirs, channels, and baffles would slough off and accumulate on the UV light tubes. The problem became so bad that we had to pull the lights at least once per week to clean them. Your company's brush system solved the problem. The weirs, channels, and baffles in the secondary clarifiers are remarkably free of algae buildup. The main advantage, though, is that since the brushes have been installed, we have not had to clean algae off the UV light.
Additionally, Mark Livengood, utilities supervisor of the Troy, Ohio wastewater treatment plant, wrote this.
We installed a UV disinfection system, but soon found ourselves having to acid clean the modules every month because their efficiency was being reduced by all the algae we were having to clean off our clarifiers. We installed the Weir system on all of our clarifiers and have not had to pull a UV module since. We're now saving about $50,000 a year.
The Fort Hall Company has over 32 variations of the Weir system, which include designs for inboard, varying, and multi-sided launders. Factory personnel can even modify clarifiers to accommodate the brush system.
Fort Hall, when they came in, they understood that we had the clarifiers with the concrete barrier that comes under the catwalk, and they said they could take care of it for us. And they did. They knew how to do it, they'd done it before, and they got right at it.
Additionally, engineer Ken Holbrook told us that it's more efficient and cost-effective to design the Weir brush system into new or expansion projects.
What we did on this project in particular is to design it in as we went and not have to go back and change things. We have found that most of the clarifier equipment manufacturer or gravity thickener equipment by various manufacturers can be readily adapted to accommodate the equipment. And it cost us very, very little to design it in.
Since its introduction in 1988, the Fort Hall Company's brush system has been the most effective and least expensive form of debris control on the market.
We tried a few other algae control systems here. One was the covers. They're cumbersome and they cost a lot. They cost about 4 times more than the Fort Hall product. The other thing, we looked at that hydro scrubbing unit, and it just didn't work. It didn't have enough pressure to actually clean the algae off.
Despite all the praise for the Weir system, its developers began to wonder if it might be adding detrimental torque to the drive motors of skimmer arms. To find out, they went back to the West Hickman wastewater treatment plant in Lexington, Kentucky, where the very first Weir was installed. They asked Doug Ralston, an engineer with the firm of Proctor Davis Ray, to witness a test of the equipment. This was his report.
The test demonstrated that the drag produced by the brushes varied from a low of 30 pounds to a maximum of 40 pounds. The test was conducted with an unloaded situation and then compared to a loaded, brushes-in-place situation with respective ranges of 15 to 20 pounds and 50 to 55 pounds being witnessed.
Additionally, Tom Wathen, an instrumentation technician with the city of Lexington, tested the Weir and said,
"The motor consistently registered a reading of 1.2 amps, regardless of position, proving that the Weir system causes no measurable load increase. Furthermore, the torque indicators also showed no increase when the system was engaged."
In other words, the Weir system produces no additional torque on drive motors. The system's highly flexible spring-loaded design guarantees that it's compatible with most clarifiers. The brush system addresses safety and confined space concerns, eliminates manual cleanings, and optimizes clarifier and thickener performance. The Weir improves TSS and sample reading by offering 24/7 cleaning and assists with other operational systems that follow the clarifiers. It improves employee morale, enhances appearances, and increases plant efficiency by enabling employees' time to be better utilized.
It's been my experience in the dealings with Fort Hall Company from conception all the way through where we are now. There's been a lot of support. I would give them an A if I was to grade them as far as their follow-up, attention to detail, and attention for the customer.
The Weir from the Fort Hall Company, the leader of the pack in automated weir cleaning.